All right.
Nicole has spoken.
All right. So all right. So here are a couple things, couple tips that I'm going to give to you. I just talked about posting about coaching. So how many of you, and I want you to raise your hands because I can see you all, how many of you post about what this coaching business, the coaching opportunity, has done for you at least once a week? There's like 2.5 hands here, and some of them are pretty wishy-washy. Okay. So, and how many times a week, Candy, I need to do that. And how many times a week do you actually invite somebody to the coaching opportunity? Dakota, how many times? Write it in the thing. Write it in the thing. I need to do that. For sure, every day. Okay. All right. So that's good to know, but if you're looking at the 37 people on this call, how many people just said they do that? Not many, right? But you all want to be diamond or above. So we need to step that up a bit, right? Now we're starting to see where like our holes are. And Katie, like you just said, at least 5 invites a day. So when you say 5 invites, are those invites to the coaching opportunity, or are they just conversations you've started?
She can talk.
I mean, you can unmute yourself if you want. Every day during combos, Lindsay says. Katie says to coaching now. Okay, and Katie, unmute yourself. I'll unmute you if you want me to. Okay. All right, so when did that change? And when that changed, did you start seeing a difference in your business?
It was probably the last 2 to 3 weeks. And I've signed 8 coaches, and everyone is interested in learning the business, because I used to stop the conversation right after they signed up with the challenge pack. And now I've like pushed it even further to get them going. And 2 of them have already gone Emerald, and the other ones are working towards posting and stuff like that. So that's been a big change the past few weeks.
Awesome. That's really freaking cool.
So,
and I will tell you guys that I started this business just like everybody else. I feel like you're always sort of afraid to bring it up, right? It's the like elephant in the room. It's multi-level marketing. People are afraid of it. You think they're going to think that you're salesy. You think that you're going to come off as like, oh, I've got a pyramid scheme. You think of all of this crap, but it's just crap. And honestly, the biggest way you can change somebody's life with this is not through a challenge group and a workout program. It is through the coaching opportunity. That is what is going to really change somebody's life. It's going to give them more money. It's going to give them more confidence. I looked at Ryan the other day and I was like, do you know that I don't get nervous at all? Like, not even the slightest before I get on a stage now and speak in front of people. And that used to be like, to me, like I remember sitting there before speaking at AOC, which is a conference that Flight puts on, before I got up there to talk to people about Facebook ads and just like trying to go through like my Gabbyisms, and I'm like, just breathe and like whatever, but freaking the F out. Like I had to talk in front of people, and that's scary. Public speaking is scary. Now I don't even care. You know, I don't care at all. And there's just a time that you become so unwilling to care what people think about you that you just don't get nervous anymore. And that business gave this business gave that to me. You know, it made me comfortable with me in my own skin. Posting that picture I just posted on Facebook, I would never have posted that years ago. It's showing my belly. Like, God forbid you show my stretch marks or the fact that I'm not, like, I don't have a six-pack or a perfectly flat belly. Now I don't care. That's me. Take it or leave it. I am who I am, and I'm working on myself, and I'm proud of me. And this business gives that to somebody. So it's not just a smaller waistline. It's not just, you know, a size 2. It's about you. It changes you at your core, and it helps you in every part of your life. It helps you with confidence. It helps you with leadership skills. It helps you be a better person, a better friend, a better wife, a better employee. I mean, how many people in our team have been promoted or congratulated at work because this business has changed you? So, you know, this business is so much more than just money, but but it's also so much more than just fitness. And so when you're offering this to somebody, you're offering them a way to change their entire life. And you have to start looking at it like that. So that is step number one, is getting rid of that fear of talking about the business, because you are doing somebody a fucking favor. You are doing them a favor. Not one of my coaches has ever turned around to me and said, you know what, I'm really pissed off that you made me coach. Not one of them. Not one fucking person on this team has turned to me and been like, well, I can't believe you made me do this. No, they're happy. They're making more money. They have better friendships. They have better relationships. They feel better about themselves. You guys, you have not just the opportunity, you have the responsibility of offering this to other people. And you got to start looking at it that way. So if it takes you sitting there and looking at a journal and writing down every single thing that you have gotten from this business, I love the word gotten because it sucks as a word, but whatever. It's the worst word ever. Anyways, but the word, write down everything you feel, things that have changed, things that are better. It could just be that you've got freaking hope for the future for the first time. You have a way out. You can see the end at the end of a shitty tunnel, like maybe it's Brianna getting out of retail sales. Maybe it's Nicole getting out of the job that she freaking hates, like there is an end to it. And you can see that now. You have the ability to offer that to somebody. So cut the crap with the fear and start talking about coaching to people. Okay. That's number one. Number two is how we post. So if you continue to post the way that you always have about fitness and challenge groups and Shakeology, you're going to continue to have the same exact people liking it. And you're going to continue to have conversations that are about fitness and challenge groups. And you're not going to have that really easy, like, I'm going to invite you to the business right now because you just like to post that is about the business, right? So instead, we're going always into those conversations where we're transitioning into, okay, well, now that you signed up, have you ever considered coaching with me? Which is fine, and that works. And I don't say stop, focusing on challenge groups. They definitely work. But you've got to mix this in there too to make it a lot freaking easier for yourself. Also, always have something to invite somebody to. So don't wait for me to run a sneak peek. You guys, you all have been in there. You know the template. You can buffer it out and do your own. You can make the videos of yourself. In fact, you should. Your leaders take the responsibility and make it your own, and go out there and start running your own. Go out there and start running your own training groups. You are the CEO of your business. You are the leader of your business. You are the person that somebody wants to sign up with. So make sure it's your face that's teaching them all of these things. Okay? So have things to invite them to, whether it be a live sneak peek or a week-long sneak peek, or maybe it's just a biz op call that you're going to do, or maybe it's just a phone call one-on-one between the two of you, or maybe you're just messaging somebody back and forth, and maybe you're brand new and this is scary for you, so your coach is in the background on the Zoom looking at your Facebook page and doing it with you. Okay? So that's another thing. Always have something to invite them to. All right. So now let's talk about posting. How do you talk about building the business in a way that isn't weird, creepy? You're going to get blocked on Facebook by your friends and annoy the crap out of them. And then, there's definitely some multi-level marketing companies that come to mind when I think of that. We don't want to be that. We're different than that. Beachbody's better than that. And you don't have to be like that. All right. So few things not to do. Do not share other people's stuff, because first of all, when you're sharing somebody else's stuff, say Carl Deichler's stuff or Autumn's stuff or Shanti's stuff, you're sharing their brand. You're not sharing your own brand. You want to share you. Second, do not post links. We are not in retail business. I don't want you posting links that are like, hey, this is on sale. You can get this here. I don't want you putting things like, hey, you can check out my business site here and coach with me. That's all stupid, crappy stuff, and it doesn't work. What I want you to talk about is you and your journey, and that can be wherever you are. That does not mean that you have this giant thing that you can post. I know that I just posted about money, and it's a pretty big amount, but not everybody has that yet. And honestly, that will scare some people off. I'm pretty sure that some people will block me because of that post. I kind of wanted to barf when I put it up because I'm not used to sharing income like that. I'm used to talking about income with my coaches, and I have no problem sharing that stuff with you guys. And I'm used to talking about it with, friends and family, and that's fine. But putting it out there, I don't want people to think that it's just because of that, and I don't want people to think that I'm bragging. So those things, exactly, Brianna. It usually means it's pretty good and you're leaving your comfort zone. Exactly. So, I put it up there, but for some people that seems unattainable, and that will almost be like, well, that's good for Joan, but I can't do that. So don't think because you haven't bought a house, quit your job, made thousands of dollars, bought, I don't know, and I told you so car, that, that you don't have anything to share in this business. I remember my first month of coaching, I made $1,300 that month, and I was like, holy crap, I didn't even realize it till the end, but I was like, that pays for my entire rent bill, and it pays for my cable bill, and it pays for my cell phone. And I posted that. I'm like, guys, I just paid my rent, my cell phone, and my cable bill without touching my salary from my job. Like, imagine what that could do for you. And so it's those things. Sometimes it's the really small wins. So maybe you made $100 in a month. You guys are going, oh, I don't know, that's not that big of a deal. It is a big deal. For somebody who's financially struggling, $100 is a big deal. $100 can pay their rent, or not their rent, but their electric bill, or $100 could pay their phone, or maybe $100 is $100 extra dollars that they can put towards a credit card bill. Maybe you made enough money that you can cover your shake. Share that. There's so many people who want to do Shakeology, but they think that it's too expensive. You're going to show them, like, look, I get to have a healthy meal and put nutrition in my body every single day that gives me energy and curbs my cravings and does amazing things for my health. And I don't even have to pay for it because I've helped other people do the same. And you post about it. Maybe you completed a workout for the first time from start to finish. And maybe you have a coach that did that. Post about it, not about your challenge group, but about how coaching helps keep you accountable, how helping other people with their fitness goals and sticking to their plans helped you stick to your plan, because you couldn't be a hypocrite and say, go do your workout when you're sitting there snacking on Doritos. This business, I can tell you 100,000% I would be fat again if I was not a coach. I totally would. I definitely would. I totally would. I'd be fat.
Okay.
I would have gained all that weight back. But because I help other people on a daily basis, and because I have to be proof the product works in order to make my business successful, I work out every day. And because I've worked out every single day for months and months and months and months on end, it's become such a habit that now I can't imagine not working out. It's actually harder for me to take rest days than it is for me to do my workouts, And so that is something that I can talk about. And that's something that coaching, not being in a challenge group, that is something that coaching has done for me. So maybe you got a note from somebody saying, that your Facebook post inspired them, or maybe you got a post from somebody saying that something in their life has changed, or they've made money, or they've lost weight, or they've whatever. As a coach, that feels so freaking good. And you get to go and post about that on Facebook and say, I just got this message and this is exactly why I do what I do. I used to be in a job that felt like I, had no passion for, and I didn't affect anybody's lives. I mean, guys, I came from social media. It wasn't like a bad gig. It was pretty fun, but I definitely wasn't like changing anyone's lives by like helping them get more people to like their posts so they could sell more crap to them, So now I get to do stuff that actually matters. And that is something you can post about. That is something that coaching has given to you. Maybe you're able to make a double payment on a student loan. Maybe you're able to make payments towards a credit card. Maybe you just were able to buy a friend's out to dinner, and you've never been able to do that before. That is something you can post about. Maybe you bought coffee in the Starbucks line for somebody behind you, and that's something that you never could do before because you were counting the freaking change in your purse in order to be able to pay for your own. So little things. They're not giant. They're little things, guys, but they're things that relate to other people, and they'll be like, I want to do that. I know that I talked about this before in maybe another video, but Ryan and I, we were just talking about it. And this is such a, these conversations come up all the time with us, in our household, and then we just share them publicly. But I remember when we went and got our Christmas tree this year, I remember looking at him and going, oh my God, do you remember when we used to get in a fight during Christmas because I wanted a Christmas tree and we didn't have any freaking money, and I would go and buy it and we'd be like, okay, well, let's get the shorter one and let's get the cheaper version Christmas tree because like we don't really have the money to be doing this. And then I'd be like, let's go out to dinner. And then we get in a giant fight because he's like, we didn't have money for the freaking Christmas tree. Why are we going to go out to dinner? Like, we don't have money. And, now, you know, I pull up to the Christmas tree shop and I'm like, I want the 10-foot, I want the Fraser fir, throw it around there, Ryan, where are we going to dinner? And that might not seem like a giant deal, guys. It's just a freaking Christmas tree. But to somebody else, it is. That post, I signed 2 coaches off of. 2 coaches over a damn Christmas tree. It's a little thing. It's not buying somebody a house, but it makes a difference. Car repairs, you know, Meg Lyon and I talked about this. Both of us at the same exact time had our cars go to shit, and the money was not cheap. It was like $2,000 for her. For me, it's $3,300. I can tell you that if that had happened in the past, I do not know what I would have done. I wouldn't have been able to pay it. That's 3 months rent. I would not have been able to pay that. And now it's like, poof, that's fine. I've got it. Not a big deal. And you have the ability, and maybe somebody's car payment isn't, you know, maybe their car repair isn't $3,000, but maybe it's $500, or maybe it's $200, or maybe they just need to get it inspected and that's a big deal, or maybe they just need to get it registered. I remember when that was a big deal. You know, talk about those things. You're going to register your car, talk about how you registered it with Beachbody money and how, like, you remember back in the day when that was a tough thing, like, to bring up that money. If that's true for you, don't be making up stories, like, actually tell your truth. You know, George's vet visit. George couldn't walk the other day. I had to bring him to the vet. He had to have x-rays. That was not a cheap visit. That's a $400 unexpected vet bill. And I didn't sit there and complain or talk about the bill. I was freaking grateful that I could afford to take care of my dog, when before I would have had to max out a credit card or just not even been able to bring him and worry about him the whole time because I wouldn't have been able to afford it. So these are all little wins, but they mean big things. They change somebody's lives. That is like when you reduce stress, when you get out of debt, when you feel taken care of, the amount of stress that leaves you and how you can help other people is incredible. And that's also what you're giving to somebody. And they might seem like tiny wins, but these are the things that you guys should be posting about daily. You know, I already said, jot down everything that Beachbody has done for you. Jot down everything that you're grateful for that has come from Beachbody. Every single thing. Use those as posts. People's objections to coaching. Use those as posts. Run your business like a sneak peek. Anytime you get an objection, you talk about it. Anytime you make money, you talk about it. Anytime you purchase something, you talk about it. That is how you're going to get folks that want to build this business, you guys, is by talking about what building the business is actually done for you. And also talk about the things and the reasons why you didn't want to get started in the first place. Like, everybody on this call didn't like call me up and say, hey, like, I want to be a coach. You know, I mean, Meg Lyon and I sat down. Well, Bridget did actually. No, Bridget, you didn't. You wanted to be an instructor. So, but after we talked about coaching, she was like, yeah. So, but Meg Lyon and I, like, I remember sitting there and her being like, no, I've done ViSalus. Like, I don't want to do this. It's a waste of money. I don't know what I said to her because she signed up right then and there, but magic coffee. But, you know, not everybody was gung-ho. I remember sitting across from Brianna at Bugaboo Creek Steakhouse, of all places, and telling her I was going to take this thing to the freaking moon. At the time, I had signed like one coach that didn't want to build. And she was like, yeah, I don't think I can. It's Christmas time. And later on that day called me and goes, never mind, I'm going to do it with you. And I was like, what? So, you know, that's my other suggestion to you. Have confidence. Have confidence in what you're doing. Have confidence in where you're taking this business. Somebody wants to join you and you're like, I'm going to take this thing to the moon and I'm going to make so much money. I'm going to help so many people and it's going to be so freaking awesome. And I can't wait to like lay on a beach with you and look around and be like, dude, what just happened? What just happened? Guys, we were all just in Fort Lauderdale on a boat. And I was like, dude, what just happened? I have 18 people here with me. I was a guest last time. You know, that is huge. That is changing people's lives. That is enormous. And then you guys are all going out there and doing the same exact thing. And this is just the beginning. It is literally just the beginning. When we look at each other 2 years from now, that is when we're really going to look at each other and go, holy shit, what just happened? Like, what just happened? When I was talking to Carrie Legault before Super Saturday, we stayed at her house Friday night. She looked at me and she looked at my earnings and she goes, girl, do you know that you're going to be making over $500,000 within the next year and a half? And I was like, what? And she was like, yeah. She was like, the way you're going and the way your income's going and the way everything, she was like, that's the way it's rolling. And I was like, I don't know. It just took a second for it to like settle in. But it's the truth. It's the truth. Your income will more than double. Typically in this business, on average, if you're making Success Club 10 or higher every single month, you will triple your income every single year. What other freaking business on the planet can you say that I triple my income every single year? I just made more in 3 months than most people in Maine make in an entire year. An entire year. And we're going 15-star, guys. And that means we're making way more. We're going to make more than what somebody makes times 2 in one bonus. That's insane money. And you know what we can do after that? We can take lots of trips together. I was just saying, like, I can't wait to I don't know. I just can't wait to give like people presents and gifts and like bring you places and do things like that. And like, we're all doing it and it's going to happen and it's amazing. And I know now I'm rambling and it's not about like what you can actually do in Defined Builders, but it's just really fucking cool. All right. What else? So posting like a coach with confidence and having those conversations with people about coaching. That is how you are going to find building coaches. You cannot be afraid to share this opportunity. You cannot be afraid to post about it. And the last thing that I'll just tell you is personal development. You're not going to get anywhere in this business if you're not working on yourself, because I'm not going to lie to you. As you get more successful, it gets harder. It gets harder. The more you grow, the bigger you get, it gets more difficult. You're dealing with lots of different personality types. You are dealing with people at all certain different levels of their business. At first, it's like, oh, I'm just dealing with these people who need to go diamond. And now it's like, wait, I've got star diamonds that need help. I've got people that are diamond need help. I've got people close to diamond that need help. I have people who just hit emerald that need help. I have people who are just getting started. And I'm working my own business at the same time. So you have to become the 15-star leader before you become the 15-star leader. Does that make sense? Your brain has to get there first. Okay. So you cannot skip your personal development. I think that's all I've got. I'm going to open it up to questions.
Go and chat. There's been some comments.
There are some chatting conversations.
Shitty catches.
Kelsey, my biggest thing was believing that you will find someone. If you focus on the struggle of finding coaches, it won't happen. You have to believe it will happen too. That's very true. Dom, I'll be happy when I'm not nervous to talk on stage. You'll get there, Dom. Dakota, what would you do about a coach that says they would like to build but always makes excuses or ignores you? I don't talk to them, Dakota. That's my problem right now. How do I break that? I don't waste my time on people who tell me they want something and don't do it. I work at the speed they do. So if they're running, I run with them. If they're walking, I walk with them. If they're not doing anything, they don't get my time. Period. I give my time to the people who do the most. So my star diamonds hear from me a lot. My diamonds hear from me a lot. My people who are close to diamond, I'm working with them very closely to get them to diamond. The people who tell me they want this and then I get them on an orientation call and I say, great, let's do a get started right call. And they still keep pushing it off and pushing it off and pushing it off. They don't get my time. I'm not going to chase them down.
That's my exact problem right now, is that I'm trying to get, I'm sorry, my voice is gone. I'm trying to get them started with like a get started call and like an opening post and stuff like that. And I'll message them and be like, hey, can we do a call tonight? I'm free at like 7. And then at like 7:05, they'll be like, oh, sorry, I just saw this. Can we do it tomorrow? Well, I'm free right now. I'm going to be free the rest of the night. And I don't get an answer and I just get ignored. And Katie's with you too.
Okay. So I'm going to give you a couple tips. One is your time is more valuable than that. Do not tell people like, I'm open now and I'm open till whatever. No, you're not. You've got other things to do. They missed their window. They're going to need to set up a different time. And you say, well, you know what? I'm sorry you missed the call. I'm actually really busy right now. I can set it up for this day at this time or this day at this time. Which one do you want? That's it. Period. If they show up that time, awesome. If they don't, they'll come back to you when they're ready. At that point, I would just treat them like a challenger and not a coach, because they're not a coach. Also, and I'm sorry, Meg, I'm just using you for examples all night long, but Meg, was all over the place. She told me that she wanted this, and then she was off bowling and golfing and softball and date nights and dinners. And I don't know, TV shows or whatever it was, but she was not there. She said she wanted it and then she wasn't there. So I literally just had like a moment with her where I said, listen, you told me you wanted this. Do you want it? Because if so, you're going to have to make some sacrifices and you're going to have to make the time. Now, was having that conversation with her scary? You're damn right it's scary. I thought, shit, she might quit and like be like, wow, Joan's such a bitch. But she didn't. She stepped up. And that's going to be the difference right there. And I'm sure her coaches are really happy that she didn't quit. Because damn, she's doing good. All right. So that's how I would say that. So if they aren't showing up, Dakota, they're not ready. And that is okay. Treat them like a discount coach and keep looking for your running partners. So literate objections. Lindsay, that was huge for me, posting my body online. Now I don't care. Yep, it's true. Made me stronger at work. I'm more direct and I don't care to give honest feedback to anyone. CEO to dishwasher. You lost me on that one.
I just said I don't care. Like, I'll be honest and direct from the dish to the dishwasher all the way to the CEO of the company. I don't give a shit. That's why they hired me, to give them honest feedback.
I get it now. All right.
And I wasn't always like that before.
That's awesome. You know what? I read a book, and this is shocking. I read a book back in 2009, and it was called Nice Girls Rarely Get the Corner Office. And it talked about how females typically get paid less because they don't vouch for themselves and they don't push for more money and they don't stand up and say the things that they're thinking and they don't say it like and tell it like it is. And men do typically. So yeah, you're not doing yourself any favors by sugarcoating stuff. And I said this to you and I were having this conversation the other day. You know what? Sometimes my coaches might get upset with me. Sometimes my coaches may feel like I've been harsh. Sometimes my coaches might think that, you know, I don't know, whatever. I don't really care what you think. But the only thing that I really care about that my coaches think is that I want them to succeed. And I don't think any of my coaches do not believe that I truly want them to be successful in this business. And it's not my job. I mean, many of you are my best friends and I love you all. And I like to hang out with you every single second of every single day, but it's not my job to be your best friend. It's my job to help you succeed and to help you make your life better. That's my job. So when I see you screwing up, it's just like a parent, right? It's not always fun. Sometimes your kids tell you they hate you, but you do it because you love them and you want them to grow and succeed. It's the same thing with your coaches. You're not doing them any favors just by being like, oh, I didn't get my hour in today, and I didn't do this and I didn't do that. And you're like, it's okay, you'll do better tomorrow. No, F that. You say to them, then you don't want to succeed. You told me your why was this and you're doing this. So what are you trying to do here? You can always use the thing that I say to Kat sometimes. Where is she? Kat, are you still on here? There you are. I always look at Kat and I go, you want me to talk to you like a best friend right now, or do you want me to talk to you like your coach? You know, we check it at the door sometimes, because sometimes you just want to hug and sometimes you want to just vent and sometimes you want your coach to kick your ass. So sometimes that's what I do too. As I just say, like if you're close with them, like, hey, do you just want a friend right now? Or do you want, I do the same thing with Ryan. Ryan and I do the same thing together. Do you want your spouse right now? Or do you want a coach right now?
Hug.
Huh?
You want a hug?
You want a hug? Want to hug it out?
Let's hug it up.
All right. So Kat said, and more emotional and cry more, jerk. Shocking.
I cried twice during this call, just so you know. Yes.
Shocking. I put in my Dakota. I put in my 2 weeks. I'm a full-time coach. Damn, are you serious?
Really?
Woohoo!
Yeah.
George is wagging his tail.
I did it today.
He's completely inverted upside down and his tail's going like this.
And you know what's funny is that I'm not making anywhere near where like you are, not even close. But I was just like, Mikey's moving to California in 11 days. I'm leaving in June, and I was like, screw it.
Good for you. Honestly, we were talking about that today too. I had a lunch with my friend Bree this afternoon, and she told me, because I took the little screenshot of here. This is a fun screenshot. I didn't share it with everybody yet, so I'll share it with you guys right now. It's my happy screenshot. But I showed this to her, and she goes, I remember the day that you were quitting your job. And I was sitting at Portland Lobster Co. with her and her now husband, fiance then, and literally like shaking, face red, super nervous. I downed like 3 beers and I was like, I got to go back to the office and tell him that I am quitting.
Like you called me 3 times.
And I did. I was like, fuck, I got to go in that office and tell him. I was so nervous about it. And I knew in my heart of hearts I was making the right decision. I actually had seen on Facebook, it was a quote that was put up by a friend, and it said, if it's no longer serving you, let it go. And I knew it. This job is no longer serving me, and it's holding me back from doing so much more. And even knowing that, even having matched my salary, it was scary as hell, you guys, to go out on your own. But then once you do it, I feel like you work even harder because you're like, oh my God, it's all up to me. And then you just create this momentum in your business. And then you realize that actually, if it's up to you, it's so much better. It really is. Like, my boss could fire me at any time. I can't fire myself. I'm in control of everything, you know? And so it's scary, but it's so worth it. Here's the screenshot I was going to show you guys. That's the bonus pool for 10 star. Can you read it? It's 16 grand. I also looked at this one today and I was like, oh, holy schmoly. This is the 15 star bonus pool. Quarterly bonus of 50 grand. Sign me up. So that, where was I going with that? Oh yeah, just talking about fear. Like, everybody has that fear of quitting their job, but put the work in.
The cool thing was that I really wasn't that scared. I had talked to Katie about it a couple times, and I, because I could have stayed here working until June, but I was like, I don't want to, because I mean, I'm a full-time student. I graduate college on May 14th. I full-time student. I work 40 plus hours a week. And I was just like, dude, I don't want to do this anymore. Like, I'm exhausted. So I finally was just like, I just walked in. I didn't even plan on giving my notice today. I just walked in and I was like, so Friday the 15th, my last day, guys. And it didn't scare me.
I think that's awesome. I think that's awesome. Congratulations. Nicole, you're funny. I hope my boss fires me. You're such a weenie. It's so much better to be like, peace, I don't need you anymore.
Yeah, at least.
And, oh wait, crap. You know what you also need to do is when you leave, and Meg, you remember this because you're close to this, you got to write that resignation letter so that you have it as a Facebook post. Because Chris did that, and it was like incredible Facebook fodder that he can use over and over and over again. I just posted about giving my notice and why, but he had that letter written out, like, I found a better opportunity, blah, 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 making more money, yada, yada, yada. And so it's pretty awesome.
I'll take a picture of mine. I have all the people that I work with on Facebook, though, so maybe I should delete them first.
Who cares? Maybe they'll go, she was smart and jump ship too.
Maybe they'll set up
Yeah, seriously. I haven't matched my salary, but that's my goal.
If that's your goal, just do it. Make it so. It's easy. Anybody else? Questions, comments, things that you want to chat about?
No.
Seriously, it's like this call was just for me. You hit everything I was thinking. Thank you. Very motivating. You rock. You're welcome. Kylie, awesome call. Candy, to do with the nice girls really get the corner office. Always advocate for yourself. Nobody else can. Yes, super inspirational. Awesome, 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 awesome. Okay, cool. It's 10:18, and I think that we all should just get to work. So, get to work. Kylie, what day are you coming down here?
Friday?
Cool. All right.
Okay, cool.
Awesome.
Friday? Perfect. All right. Friday it is.
Cool. All right. I love you guys. You are all so awesome, and you're rocking this business. And I don't know if you all read that post that I put in the team page, but holy shit. Like 450 coaches in there, 3 of them from the Millionaires Club, 8 elite coaches, 1 11-star diamond, and 3 other 10-star diamonds. And out of all of those, our team ranks the highest in the entire network. That is freaking badass. That's badass. We're killing it. You guys are helping a lot of people, and you're doing it the right way, and your heart's in the right place, and I'm very proud of all of you. So stop stinking being afraid of things and just go out there and sign some building coaches. Okay? And then we can have an even bigger family that loves each other.
You're so cheesy.
I'm such a dork. All right. Love you. Bye.